in my head when they on this last go round. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna do all I can do to make things right.
Basically, of course, they paid everything for every anything like that happened to the principals. That's what you get. A liberal Democrat.
Buddy and Aaron, you ready?
5, 4.
I'll call it 6. This will be, I'll call the budget together.
Okay.
Let it get there.
Camera's not on.
Supposed to have it on. I'll text him again, I just called him.
Cool.
Is it on?
You're going now.
Okay.
34 seconds.
Well, Mr. Chairman, are you good?
Good.
All right, this time I'll call this budget committee meeting together for proposal presentation, the 24-25 budget to the Loudon County Commission as recommended by the budget committee. If you have your books with you, we can go down. Anytime you want to stop me, ask questions, and I'll find somebody to answer. The property tax has allowed us, as it's currently recommended, the same. Now, one thing that's allowed, that'll show some new movement is the value of the penny itself. At 100%, our value of the penny now is $260,666. That's incredible for a county our size. 98%, which is what we budget at,
What's that number again? 261?
266. That's at 100%. As we budget at 98%, your penny value is $255,453. Number one, underneath the highlights on the first page, you see the breakdown of how that penny is distributed. Well, they're all through the county general, public libraries, the highway, the general purpose school, general debt service, education capital projects, highway capital projects, and education debt service. Any questions on those? I'll be. All right. Number two is under the ARPA appropriation. It includes the appropriations for what we still have left of the original ARPA money, which is a $250,000 rubber tire loader at the highway department, a new truck for the animal shelter, a little bit better truck for the animal shelter this time, and 3 new voting machines at the election office.
Now, that equipment for the highway department is not for loading rubber tires. It has rubber tires on it.
Yes.
How much does that leave us with ARPA?
$127,330.
That has to be spent by when?
December has to be obligated.
It has to be obligated by December of 2024 or spent. The obligations can be spent 2 years beyond that, but if it's not obligated, then it has to be spent by the end of December 2024.
Thank you.
Anything else on the ARPA?
Now that's just in the fund, not
Yeah, that's just.
by each
Yeah,
of us,
that's
right?
the.
Okay.
That's any ARPA money that's not currently, that we still have in anybody's account. It has to be obligated and or spent by December 24th.
Sales tax, 73% county general fund, 27% to the recycling center fund. Sales tax continues to perform well. I think we're starting to see a little bit of a cap, though. I think it's starting to level out from what we're seeing. Telephone commissions, around 100,000, starting this fiscal year. It's proposed in this budget to be moved to the drug fund, Fund 122.
Explain what that is.
In the past, it was actually shared with the county general fund. The inmates at the jails get telephone. I don't know if they do video calls, I think too.
I think that's part of it.
It's quite the elaborate setup. They have to pay for that, and we get a certain percentage of it from the company that does it. So this year, we've shared it in the past. This year, it's going to the drug fund, 122.
Did we decrease revenue to the drug fund?
No.
It's just an increase in the drug fund, it is. And what do they do with the drug fund money?
It's restricted fund,
They have to use it in a restricted way.
there's limited
Drug
options
related.
they can use it for.
Cars,
2 dogs, I think.
no, that's a opioid there.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't talk about that yet.
It's supposed to be two, it's supposed to be 2 cars and 2
Somebody
dogs.
that's a specialist for the state for the opioid abatement.
Out of the opioid fund.
You talked to her yet?
No.
What county are we following on? Green
Green
County.
County.
Green County.
Green County.
Green County, Green County.
Greene County may end up with a big payback coming.
Yeah, I heard, that the other day that, the government's got wind of some of the local municipalities doing what Greene County did. And they're supposed to come out with a more specific guideline on what that money can be spent on. Anything be better than what we initially got.
At the TCSA conference, I met with a Miss Jennifer Turble, and she's the executive director for Smart Initiative, and she is the go-to, so to speak, on this opioid abatement, how to spend it. So, that's, got a resource there,
Anything.
Dogs and cars.
maybe. Legal fees, the appropriation for legal fees for this year has increased to a total of $380,000.
What was it last year?
Currently, it's at 105,000 plus 155,000 for Livermore City Annex. It's a total budget of 285,000 and it's going to 380,000. However, that budget will be amended sometime this year.
Fire protection, fire safety, an increase in it of $85,000. The commitment that we set up was it last year we set it up, I guess?
Yes.
To the tune of $560,000. We tweaked that a little bit. It's not gonna sit there and just accumulate money. It's gonna be $560 every year. So it's not gonna be, 3 years, have $1.5 million sitting there. It will, as it, goes over that or meets or goes over the $560,000, it will roll back into county general.
So how much was spent in 2024?
420,000, I believe, rolled back into the general fund.
All we bought was blankets out of it.
Yes.
To put out the electric cars.
So 440 was spent, or returned, you mean?
420, wasn't it?
420, so that means 140 was spent.
It will take me just a minute to find that, but I believe it was a little bit, I'm trying to remember exactly how much has been spent. I remember the blankets, there was also, something that, went through the EMA budget for some type of conference for one of the fire.
Yeah, training.
Yeah, and I can't remember how much
Yeah, I
that
think-
was.
I think the blankets were right at 80.
We had to buy
Think.
expensive blankets to put out
Electric
polluting battery fires that can't be put out anyway, and that was meant to save the environment, but
Yeah.
it's had the reverse effect, and the only way you put them out is throw one of these high-priced blankets over it.
And who got those blankets?
Every department.
All the fire department.
got
Every
one.
fire department got one. So if your
That's small
electric car,
business.
if your electric
I didn't
car
even
catches
blame
on
you.
fire, you can't put it out with water or anything else. You have to,
When you say every fire department, that means?
4.
for the county,
Philadelphia,
Greenback.
Greenback, Telco Village, and Loudon County Fire Rescue.
Okay.
A total of $20,623 was spent in the current year.
Plus the blankets?
No, with the blankets.
So we put 500, almost 500,000 into the general fund.
You might have misspoke today, cause I talked to Bill Hart about that.
I thought there were more than $20,000.
I did too.
4 of them.
That's what went.
No, there was
through
8, I
finances.
think there was 8 blankets. The best
2
I-
each.
I think so. 2 each.
I don't remember.
I don't, and it could, Bill could have just misspoke,
I thought it was one.
but that wasn't what he told me to 20 something. I don't remember how much
We
they were.
spent $20,623. That's how much we spent. It was set up for $560,000.
Well, that's, if you've got 4 blankets, that's
We might have used ARPA.
$5,000 a blanket, that's
Pretty good blanket.
Yeah.
Everybody good? Number 7, under the highlights, wage adjustments, county commission salary will remain at the same. The full-time county employees, this is excluding, our law enforcement, our sheriff's department, and our corrections officers. Our full-time employees will get a $1,200 annual increase. We've done that the last few years. That kind of, if you're making over 50, you like that 2% better, but, this also helps our lower end employees that are just starting, kind of close that gap a little bit. Regular part-time employees, regular part-time, ours gets a 5% increase. Our sheriff's department, now they did not get the COLA, however, they did get a total wage benefit increase of $492,969. That's the sheriff's department patrol. The jail department, again, did not get the COLA, but they did get a $328,756 wage and benefit increase. As Aaron noted here, based on the 40-hour work week. Number 8, the biggest growth, or our growth of our 7 employees is we have 2 full-time going into the county clerk. That'll be help alleviate the demand that's gonna be with the upper end. A part-time county clerk, one part-time in our property assessor, and that's kind of a shift more than a new position. In the sheriff's department, we have 3 full-time, there's a full-time patrol corporal, a support service supervisor, and a full-time correction corporal. Those are the 7 new.
I got a question. Speaking of new county clerks, what's the status of that bank that's been sitting there for months?
Gotta get it ADA ready before we can open up.
What's taking so long?
You got government involved, that's the biggest thing.
We met last week up there, and yesterday, Monteith was supposed to be meeting with whoever the subcontractor was.
They met
Jim-
today.
Did they meet today? Jim Jenkins had gone up and laid out exactly what would have to meet ADA, so they're gonna take the 2 ADA bathrooms we have and combine them into 1 ADA bathroom to make it a little bit bigger.
And that should
It's
take
not
how long?
compliant. The ones there are not
Right,
compliant,
right,
so
they're
making-
several inches out of
making 2 and
compliance
making 1.
here and there, the toilet's too close to the wall and things like that.
So are we still 2 or 1 unisex?
One combined.
How long are they gonna take?
I don't have a time frame. Greg was supposed to have it bid out or whatever,
Get the
however that's
bids and
gonna
deals
cost,
cut,
but they met
get one
today.
side.
Got some trees cut down behind it, got the gutters clean. Gonna come back, cut some more trees down behind, we have a little
Safes have been
communication.
removed, some of the furniture.
Yeah, some of the furniture been taken out, the safes were sold and been taken out, the big old awful safes. So, slowly but surely.
Have you ever seen anything government move fast?
Nope.
While we're on 8, this is gonna be a little bit unorthodox, maybe a little bit even out of left field. Our VSO office, this week, Ron's on vacation. My office is filled with the calls coming in.
Maybe tell us what your BSO.
Veteran Service Office.
There you go.
What is it?
The,
Veteran service
Oh.
currently it's a part-time and a full-time position. Our full-time, he's had some health issues, I'm not gonna go in there and violate his HIPAA by no means. But like this week alone on vacation, we filled his calls. I'm gonna ask this commission, night of adoption, to add a full-time position to our Veteran Service Office. We're not doing our veterans any justice.
So 2.5 employees versus 1.5?
Yes, another full-time employee. I didn't realize it, they had complained, but I see what's happening over the last couple of days with how it really is. It's out of left field, I've never done this, I've never asked this on
Well, you know, I don't think you have to do that, we're gonna have budget Monday night, or the 17th.
well, I don't want to just show up.
And then we're gonna have, that's what I'm saying, we're gonna have the come back on the 19th. So there's multiple opportunities for us to address this. You don't have to do it on the floor.
No, I just didn't want to blindside him.
Yeah, if the need's there, you know, we're gonna listen to whatever the need is and what your plan is, how to pay for it and that sort of stuff.
So you have one and a part-time, you just wanna go and take the part-time to
I
full-time?
want a full-time. I think it's very necessary.
Okay, so what happens
Well,
to
we
the
gotta get away,
part-time?
we got into the habit of, I don't wanna get into too deep on this line. We got in the habit of by appointment only
Got it.
during COVID, which was, at that point in time, we thought was the right thing to do. But we've kind of stuck with that, and then with the lack of help, I'll say, you know, like I said, with everything from sick to vacation to, we've had deaths in that office as well, with family deaths in the office as well. We need another full-timer.
Okay.
And we should never turn a veteran away from that office. And we've kind of got into that just from lack of help, so. So that was our new employees. Any questions anybody has? One thing I think I'm super proud of, and I think this whole commission and this budget committee especially, if you go past our highlights, you can see our 10-year audit fund balance. And just, incredible work by me, but this commission and the folks that put the work in. This is an incredible thing for Loudon County to have a fund balance like this that we've never seen before. Being very tight with our budgets, being very conservative with what we spend our money on has paid dividends. And that's, to see $15,200 there, $15,200,000 is an amazing thing.
Don't undersell the penny value either. The county has policies in place that have driven the values throughout this Loudon County, and our penny value, what Buddy said a minute ago, at 100%, which is 100%, it's $260,000 per penny. And a lot of people, they don't understand all it means. You'll learn, or we've already learned, we live by the penny, everything's by the penny.
When I first heard that, I rushed home and got my piggy bank account, found all the pennies I could get.
Well, just to give you a comparison, I think Buddy will know some others. Lenore City's penny value is $36,472. Loudon's penny value is $36,740. Ours is $260,000. I think last time I heard you say Monroe County, $99,000 or something like that.
Our own counties is not very high. You get out in West Tennessee, I don't remember which county it was, maybe Lake County, their penny value is like $15,000. How do you even operate? Which it's a very small county, I don't even know how you operate.
The Mac Daddy is Ed Mitchell,
Yeah,
Blount County.
but now they're paying their price too. with
They're
the
paying it.
development that's coming, they're fixing to have to undertake quite a program as well. We can go line by line, or I can take questions. How y'all wanna do it? It's, if you look at the bottom line, it looks a lot worse than it is. I'm a little nervous. I'm always nervous for budget cycle, but the way we've done it, we always will budget a little bit in the red, sometimes more than others. But our spending, our elected officials and office holders, employees do a great job, our department heads do a great job of not spending everything that we allot. And so our 98% spending, we don't include utilities with that, plus not spending everything we give, usually has helped us build that $15 million fund balance.
And that rolls over after the 1st of July.
Aaron, anything you want to touch on?
I think that's it. I think I'm good, unless they specifically have any questions that we need to be prepared for the night of adoption. That would be great.
How many days did we spend on this thing?
Oh,
3 were canceled, 13 were convened.
In subarctic environment.
Oh, it wasn't that cold. You're fine.
I wore a hoodie and mittens every day.
wasn't a meeting unless you could see your breath.
You know, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but I know Van and Henry, you two have been with us since 14, yeah. You know, those 14, the 15, 16 budget, 16, 17 budget, we spent a lot of hours. That's when we're doing them in the night. So we get started at 4 o'clock and roll out of here anytime between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night. Trimming a lot of this down to where it is a much easier process now. Appreciate the budget committee service on this. It's not always easy, and it's sometimes unappreciated, I guess. It's hard.
So I guess for me, I mean, and I've looked through this, but I've not been to all the meetings and all of that, so
I guess my question is, you know, are there any big additions, any big cuts to anything in any of this
Man with his
budget?
hand up right there.
Right there.
That's the only big one we got this year.
The
But I mean-
significant increase, we didn't really cut anything, the significant increase was, in the sheriff's department, continue to invest in law enforcement. There's a term you use, sheriff,
There's several. Pork, is it pork or?
the compression, a little bit of separation a little bit from, the command zone is $1.
Well, we talked about that, a couple of different reports I saw a week or so ago, had Loudon County the second fastest growing county, and then it had it listed in the top 10 in another one, so somewhere between 10 and number 2, Loudon County is growth, and I said before, this is not going to be the last
We were
school
63rd
project
entire
and
country.
whatever that you're gonna see, and I'm not talking about another 20 years. You know, these people, we just keep building, and people keep moving in, and you gotta educate, you gotta have things for them, and schools are just one component of what the county has to provide.
So adequate facilities tax, when you all lowered that for Lenore City,
Mhm.
that was for 4 years?
That
Is
was,
that what I'm
we
understanding?
can't lower it again for 4 years.
Okay,
After 4 years, we'll take 2.5% more.
no, we're gonna give it back.
Well, I don't think so.
That's what I'm wanting to do now. Can we give it back now?
No.
So we have
Unless
to
you got
wait,
6 votes to do
we
it.
have to
That's what I
wait
say,
for,
you can bring it forth with a motion in a second,
okay,
I think.
Is this the second year of that agreement?
third,
Third year?
After next year, we can take 2.5 more.
no.
Or the whole thing, actually, we can take it all.
No, We're
Back on
contributing
the
to
school
that.
conversation, if the property tax were to pass June 24th, and everything went perfectly from that point forward, the first classes in the new school wouldn't be until August of 2027. So what you have to think about, there are those that would say, oh, we gotta wait, we don't know, we need to wait. 3 years. So you start now, you're 3 years away from being where they're trying to get to. So you wait another year, you wait another year, you wait another year, and you're just 3 more years down the road.
Kicking the can down the road.
yeah, but your
while
growth
people are
may
still
slow
moving
down
in
too.
here.
You may not
You
need it.
think?
Yeah,
You think
Just all of a sudden
Really
it's gonna-
think growth's
it
gonna
has
slow
for
down?
now. In
Now,
real
in
estate,
November, and the Lenore City election could have a big impact on the growth in Lenore City. I'll say that.
I just had a friend sell his house in Lenore City, right next to the Lenore City High School. He listed it for $540,000. It sold in 24 hours. The guy showed up in his driveway and said, I don't want any contingencies, I don't want any home inspections, and I'll give you $600,000 cash. Sold it in 24 hours.
There's 300 homes going right now in Tennessee National. There's 80 more coming in on River Road.
It's not gonna get better.
It's not gonna come
I'll just be honest, I'm as opposed to this as anybody could be at thought of raising property taxes. And what I've asked everybody the whole time, I've had a lot of contacts, y'all know I get a lot of contacts. Give me the alternative. Give me the alternative that we don't have to do this, and I'll be listening. I've yet to hear one.
Yeah, but they've not even added in operating expenses and all that. This
Oh,
thing is gonna be
It's $1 million a year.
astronomical.
Now, one of the things we talked about too throughout this process was, we originally thought we were looking at 30 cents. From the
Utilities.
growth of the penny being what it is, we're looking more along the lines of 25. And as the penny continues to grow, we're actually, as we've retired that, the possibility could be there to even reduce that as we go along as well. So
Just-
30 cents, I think, kind of have to look more along the lines of 25.
Just like I said, being an educator for 40+ years and having some idea of how schools operate and how school populations think, I still maintain by the time the school's built, I think there will be more students or more parents wanting to put their students in that school than they're gonna have room for. Just mine.
Just
And
write
think,
this down, put it in the time capsule.
and thinking about
Don't
Dr.
believe so.
Barker saying they had room for 200 kids with creative scheduling,
Yeah.
that won't cut it.
Well, we've got
Now
it.
that you look at the numbers that are out there, just in the middle school grades out there is where they're busting at the seams. You know, and they said, well, there'll be 7 through 9, 7 through 10. I guarantee there'll be people turned away from getting into the new school.
Well, you got Loudon and Greenback, you've got two high schools there.
Well,
How
my
you get
first
them to
response
Greenback?
when all this started
That's
is
county schools.
let them catch a bus, but
Yeah,
Loudon's full.
Loudon's full.
Greenback's full is what I.
Loudon's got almost 800 kids.
nah, they're not full.
They're not.
they're not full.
They're not,
They're only graduating
I know.
uh,
I think Greenback graduated, what, 56 or 57?
That's a pretty good number.
Back, when it was built for the future. I thought that was extremely.
I'm gonna change topics about legal fees. I know we've increased legal fees to 380. Has that increase been allocated to anyone, or is that just additional fees? Is Bob Bowman still getting the same that he gets annually? What's that look like?
His retainer and of course anything extra is the same. He's not increased his fees to
Okay.
us as far as our.
That's just extra money in case we have to.
Great deal.
Okay.
Hire more, hire more attorneys.
Why not?
I don't see any end in lawsuits anytime soon. They're as sure as the school growth as far as I can tell.
On that legal fee, you said the money was gonna be reimbursed. Where's it being reimbursed from?
Well, not the full amount that we were talking about. For the Lenore City annexation, it's being reimbursed from the ARPA funds from the 6th district.
No.
5th.
Oh, no, let's leave it at six.
I'm sorry, I was
Six.
looking at
No.
the things, sorry, 5th. From Mr. Shaver and Mr. Morrison.
So it comes out of our budget and then they reimburse it.
Because that is an operational expense, it comes out of the county general fund, which commission approved. All of you approved that. So it comes out of the county general fund and then we do a transfer out of the ARPA fund into the county general fund.
Is it one, have you checked into somebody had brought up a couple of weeks ago, something about being able to reuse it multiple times for the same reoccurring cost,
Yeah, this is not recurring. Salaries are recurring.
paying on the same bill but different times?
Yeah, that's not a recurring expense.
It'll eventually go away.
Eventually, yeah.
Reoccurring is forever.
Hopefully, it may go forever, who knows? I can't speak for Joe, but who, by the way, is on vacation, is why he's not here tonight, but he is watching us live streaming in sunny Florida beach right now, but, as long as we have the money to do it, we intend to continue to pay it. But let's be real clear, we're under no obligation to pay it out of our ARPA funds. We don't have to do that. We've chosen to do that because everybody used their ARPA funds for what they thought was important in their district. And there's nothing more important in the 5th district right now than 2 illegal annexations. And they stand, then the city annexes everything in the 5th district. We can't take any more city stuff in the 5th district. So we have chosen to pay this, but be very, very clear to anybody listening, we're under no obligation to pay it. It could be a county general fund expense.
Somebody, we talked a little bit about the opioid money. We've got a contact there.
Green County,
The 122, Sheriff, somebody had asked about the drug fund, what all it could be used for. You care to touch on that just a little bit?
Yeah, the drug fund can be used on whatever, whether it be equipment, services, anything that goes towards the enforcement of drug activity, whether it be cars, canines, training, anything like that. Like if you buy ammo with the drug fund, it specifically has to go for our narcotics drug fund officers. But you can buy weapons or anything else.
So we can only shoot drug dealers with that ammo.
Oh my God.
I'm just asking.
How much was lawsuits?
well, somebody shoots somebody with the wrong bullet.
I know, they'll have to get the drug
But-
money back.
You can buy vehicles that can go department-wide, stuff like that. Opioid money, there's some things in the future, some programs I'm looking at.
Cars and dogs, we've done, look, we got that one covered. Green County, we're going all in.
Do we think
Cars
the
and dogs.
opioid
Let's
money
not
will,
make
decisions on Green County, let's not.
Thank you.
Do what?
Opioid money will turn into kinda like the ARPA money was, there was so many strings attached to it.
I don't think it'll ever change because of the strap. I've read everything there is. There's this whole document out there on it. I don't think it'll ever change. It's reoccurring till 2038. You're hesitant to start anything that is recurring, William, because once the money runs out, whatever you started, of course, will have to continue on perpetually. And I'm talking drug courts and things like that.
The
So
only thing that really, I mean, that when you spend money on, in areas like this and you wanna make a difference,
Yeah.
are things that need to be permanent and reoccurring, like treatment, education, monitoring, those kinds of things, you know, giving out T-shirts that says, just say no.
Yeah.
No,
Useless.
Just throwing money away.
that's just throwing money
You know,
away.
Weld County's
We,
putting all of theirs into they're going into a treatment center.
you know, is it a treatment center? You know,
Multi-jurisdiction treatment center.
I don't know if it's still a multi-jurisdiction or not. I know Mayor Major said, yeah.
There's,
I don't know if it's the
To me,
same one.
that's-
there's some programs that I'm looking for corrections, to add on to our GED program. There's work release program, there's, in-house drug programs, there's a program, it's faith-based, so we volunteer on that only, but it has basic programs that teach everything from putting in a light socket or a wall socket to carpentry, things we can do on site through programs that are basically free, but it will take some money to get them started. So after all the budget's set, I would like to ask about opioid money for those programs.
I made contact with a lady who's kind of the go-to in East Tennessee for it, so hopefully I may ask to invite her down for a meeting where we the budget or.
We don't need a meeting, just get a letter. Document will be fine.
well, nothing
Yeah,
I,
they changing letters.
nothing I've read is
Letter
what we
change.
initially got.
Doesn't let you do nothing.
It just is the most nonsensical. I believe it came from the right side of Congress in Washington DC or somewhere in that area up there, but it absolutely, you look at the things like this and you think, that's not gonna help the drug problem, you know, a lot of that stuff always comes out as fluff and window dressing where you can say, you know,
Feel
profit
good,
up our-
feels
feel good
good.
and everything. But the nitty gritty, you know, what are we, you know, can we stop people that have the problem? Can we help them get off of it? Can we do interdiction programs? Things like that. This, you know, and as far as educating the kids, they probably know more than most of the DEA agents do.
And what I'm only concerned about spending is like the ARPA money, how many times did it say, this is the final word, subject to change?
Change
2
next
weeks
week.
later, they change it, and
Yeah, we hope it would.
if we spend it too early, we'll have to pay it back.
We're not in under obligation or time frame on this either. That's another plus. We can just sit still and see what they do.
Use it however you want to.
What's the difference here between this hotel motel and hotel motel tax VRBO?
VRBO is vacation rental.
Well, right, but why is it two different lines of hotel motel tax?
I'm sure it's because that VRBO came after the fact, it came a few years ago, and so.
The RVO's not a motel or a hotel. It's people.
Well, I understand
people-
that,
Yeah.
but it's still a hotel motel tax.
But it's being collected two different places now. The state's collecting on, what's the big one?
Airbnb.
Airbnb. The state's supposed to be collecting Airbnbs. And Verbo maybe is paying their own.
Directly to the county?
I would have to check into that.
That's a recent addition.
It is. It's just this
That-
year.
that-
We've never had that one before.
That's because of the growth in Airbnbs and VRBOs.
And we have no authority to control Airbnbs. Before that question comes up someday and somebody asks you, why don't y'all do something about this thing in our neighborhood? We can't.
An HOAs can.
We can charge them a fee, we can make them register with the county, but all we can do then is say they have to comply with all the regular laws of the county like everybody else. But we cannot tell a neighborhood or somebody they can't put their home on a Airbnb listing. And it's getting to be a problem. Telco Village has more than anybody in the county.
It's true.
They got a bunch of them over there.
We'll have another eclipse here in like 40 years.
Yeah, we probably won't see that one. Except apparently we have one every year now. We just had one a few months
Depends on
ago.
where you're at.
No other department in the county.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none?
See you on the 3rd.
Yeah, I'll consider us adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
The 3rd, did you get my late notice? I told Adam, I said, I got nothing with the agenda. I thought, no, I gotta have Davis Lane on there. I totally forgot. Yeah, I just forgot to send it to you.
Forgot to say that.
Yeah, I said I got nothing.
I'll have to go.
Yeah.